Excellent Friday. I hope you are having. Welcome to another podcast. My name is Mauricio Garcia, and always we strive, we do our best to just bring you truly the best principles, the best, the secrets, the strategies that you need to really be successful out there in your entrepreneurship efforts. And to add massive value to this podcast, I'm joined, of course, as always, by my friend, mentor, and business partner, Mr. Hubert Humphrey. Hubert, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Great to be with you again, Mauricio. It's a pleasure being with another great entrepreneur champion like you.
Thank you, sir. Well, it is mutual, I'll tell you, and I get a lot of value from all these. A lot of knowledge and a lot of vision stretching from all these podcasts that we do. So I feel very lucky and blessed to be able to do this with you every single day. There's three things that I think are important to wrap up this week's podcast episodes, which is, desire. In order to be successful, we need to have desire, be able to be coachable, and also be accountable, have accountability. So let's just kind of unpack each one of these things or principles one by one. Desire. We definitely need desire in order to be able to do anything. What is your level of desire? What has been the level of desire you've had to be able to go 4 decades in a row and still going out there better than ever, stronger than ever, building the biggest company you've ever built in the past? What kind of desire you need to be able to do that?
Well, it's got to be fueled by constant vision stretching and constant alignment to the system. See, I've got experience is the key to greatness, and I've just been able to build upon the experiences I've had. It gives me confidence to keep using that same experience. I've had confidence using the system, so that makes me want to keep using the system. It keeps teaching the system, keep passing it on to other people, and I've seen it work in other people's lives, so it gives me more confidence to get them to follow the system. And all of that repetition is the mother of skill, and that confidence, and that keeps me going. But it keeps me dreaming. I mean, in other words, if you ever get a glimpse of have a dream, and all of a sudden it starts to come true to some degree, boy, that excites you. And if a dream comes true one time, you're hooked on it. And you go say, well, what caused that dream to come true? I'm just going to go do that in a bigger, better way, and now a dream comes true again, a little bit bigger. That's sort of what's perpetuated this thing, Mauricio, for all these years. Is just I've been able to do some things and it works, and I'm a good copier. One thing that I've learned, of all the people I'm gonna copy what worked for me last week. I'm gonna copy it again this week. Some of the best copying that you'll ever do is if you're doing it right, keep doing it right. That means you're copying yourself. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people always get bored with the fundamentals and bored with the basics, and they always want to put some different slant on it, and they don't repeat the successful thing again and again and again. They keep wanting all these new gadgets, and they're forever starting and never finishing.
Mm-hmm. Now, I understand desire as wanting to do something, right? You desire something, you want something, and
but desire is an ability that can be learned. You're not born with a burning desire.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a skill set that can be developed.
You stretch the vision, so as you can see more things, then you desire. You can't desire something you don't see.
That's right. Absolutely.
I got it.
In other words, you've got to have vision stretching, and you can't stretch your own vision. You can't reach in there in your ears and grab your mind and stretch it. It doesn't work that way. You can make a decision and say, listen, I've got to have something that drives me bigger and better, and you can submit yourself to certain people or things or events that will help you stretch your vision, but you got to have help to have your vision stretched, and that keeps your, I talk about the old steam locomotives back in the railroad days that I learned about. It was before my time, but I got to see some of those old relics. A locomotive that's got a firebox, it's got a water tank for the water to convert to steam. It's got a coal bin behind it where it loads up with all the coal. Well, it's got all the pieces, but that locomotive is not going to get it. It's not going to make the coal jump out of the bin into the firebox, and it's not going to heat up by itself, and it's not going to get the water to convert to steam and move the train. So somebody else has got to come do that for that locomotive. We're that locomotive. We've got a firebox. We got all this raw material over here that can be thrown in to fuel our fire. Mm-hmm. And our vision is to have all that become like that steam and move our locomotive to great heights to accomplish other things in life, other dreams. But somebody somewhere's got to help us shovel that coal into that firebox and keep it going to help us, especially in the beginning till we learn how to do it. That's where most people fail in life, is they're not aligned with anybody or any system or anything that can help keep their vision stretched, that can help them develop this ability to have desire.
Yeah, well, who better to give testimony to that with a factory worker, cell phone welder. I never could be dreaming the things that I'm dreaming now, the things we could do here. So I would encourage people, if you feel like you don't have the desire enough right now, that you're not dreaming as big as you could dream, join something that's bigger. Join a bigger team, join a bigger dream, join somewhere where your vision can be stretched so you can desire more, because you can get a lot more. And so that's number one. That's right. Number one. Desire has many temperature levels. It can be room temperature as your starting point, or it can your temperature can go from room temperature down to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. What happens to water when it gets to 32 degrees Fahrenheit? It turns into ice. Yep.
The opposite occurs.
Solidifies.
It's now frozen. It's now frozen, and it's not going to do. It's very limited what ice can do. But boy, when water goes up and becomes steam, now that's a different animal. It moves machinery, it lights up cities. It's the power of the universe. Almost.
It's really changed the world completely. Now, the second thing is, obviously, once you have the desire, right? You want to go out there, you want to pursue. Then comes coachability. What do you mean by that?
Well, coachability is that you got to. Followership is the first principle of leadership. It's the first principle of success. All great leaders are great followers. And followers means coachability. It means you got to be careful. First of all, be careful who you follow, because there's a lot of coaches, and a lot of people going to coach you to do a lot of things, but they can coach you into oblivion. They can coach you right out of your money. They can coach you. They might have good intentions, but good intentions is not what you want to follow. You want to follow good actions, good results, and so. The key here to coachability is to recognize that you don't know it all yourself, and that you're willing to be a good student first, and you want to be a good student so you can be a good leader and a good teacher. If I want to learn I want to learn everything I'm learning with the intention of teaching others and leading others, but you have to be have a good coach to do that. Coachability. A good coach with people who aren't coachable makes no difference. The good coach is just wasted. So coachability is that willingness to align, stay in alignment, and learn and pass it on and use it. And by the way, when you learn something, it needs to be implemented quickly, because learning something and then letting a lot of time pass, you're going to lose it. It's like if you were going to sit for an exam at school, or an insurance exam, or some major exam where you had to cram and study, and then all of a sudden you did all that, and then you wait 2 or 3 weeks before you take the exam. A lot of what you crammed for is gone. You got to get it in and use it. Instant use of acquired knowledge is what it is. And there's a great business slogan I've always lived by. It says, discipline and accountability will lead to ascension and dominance. You got to have something to help you have discipline. Most people don't have a lot of discipline, so they need to be around in a company with a bunch of leaders who they'll submit themselves to that system and follow it, and that becomes acquired discipline. It kind of imposed on them a little bit here. They're borrowing discipline, and then the system is everything's done with an account. There's got to be a scoreboard. That you can't go. You don't go play a golf match or go play a football game or a basketball game, and nobody's keeping score. That wouldn't be any fun. It's the score. It's the accountability of your efforts. Accountability makes it improve. Where performance is projected, it might possibly occur. It has a better chance of occurring. Where performance is actually measured and held in accountability, it has a better chance of improving. So that's what that's meaning. This coachability and then that accountability, because without the accountability, there is no there is no compression. There's no damming. It's like a river. If the Colorado River didn't have Hoover Dam, it couldn't light up Las Vegas because it was never dammed against anything. It was just a river running through the mountains and through the desert. And but once that river was held accountable, and the Hoover Dam was built, and that thing went through all the machinery of Hoover Dam, it held that river accountable, and it took all of its power. It took it to the max and lit up the West. That's what we are. We all got a river, and we got to dam it up in life, and that's what leaders do. They help us get that best out of us, and they hold us accountable. But we got to be coachable to be held accountable, and we got to have a desire to even start to be coachable. That's why we put those things together.
I have nothing else to add. Very well put. So I encourage everybody to get back, listen to this podcast once again. And the reason is these are the principles, guys, that have enabled Hubert to build really massive organizations and just create a wealth, not just for himself, but for thousands and thousands of people out there. And still, I wanted to say, if still you haven't checked the HEI opportunity, I encourage you to go there now by going to HEIopportunity.com. Listen to what HEI is up to and look at what have been done in the past and where we're going. And maybe you can find your place in there so that your dreams can also become a reality by utilizing the HEI system and doing it in the best industry, the most powerful industry in the world today, which is the financial industry. Again, that is HEIopportunity.com. And with that, Hubert, being said, I want to just thank you once again, as always, for adding all this value, not keeping anything back, and impacting the lives of entrepreneurs out there that tune into this podcast every single day. And thank you. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
See you at the top.
Bye-bye.
Warning, this podcast may change the way you think about business, entrepreneurship, and money forever. The Conquistador Podcast was created for dreamers, entrepreneurs, and leaders who want to conquer their future. To be an epic entrepreneur, you must adopt the right mental paradigms as well as master the art of selling, marketing, and finance.